Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. Now, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the games that Mario Barrios likes to play with his opponent. We call them boxing games, and these are the ways that we look to score points against our opponents. They're the little tricks, the little things that we found that work in sparring that we try to take to our fights. So, here's Mario Barrios looking to fight off of his opponent's jab. Okay, figuring out that timing, pulling off the line just a little bit, and then following him back. Now, a very, very early game that you're going to be playing, right, because your opponent's always looking to throw jabs at you. So you're always looking to get your head off the line and find opportunities to come back with punches. Now, Mario Barrios is no different and likes to fight off of his opponent's jab, as we see here, going into some body shots, slipping off that line, using that same kind of motion that he was before, but instead of completely exiting the line, just coming down under the punch and coming back into the line with some punches. Now, this is one of those things that's going to be very effective against Keith Thurman, the body punches in particular, as Keith Thurman has a habit of getting hurt to the body. Now, this is also because he wears that weight vest when he hits the heavy bag. It stops him from being able to use his core all the way when he punches. Puts stress on other parts of his core, but I really think it's ineffective as a tool to be using that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, I do think that Mario Barrios is pretty quick. He's a pretty solid boxer. He sees a lot of engagements coming, and he fights off of the jab pretty well here. Okay, I think it's going to be something very difficult. Now again, different style, right? Under that shot, and then instead of going to the body, going to the head with the right hand. Again, he has a lot of different tools, a lot of different strategies for this. Now, I do want to point out pulling off and getting hit here. Okay, he does have a habit of being kind of stuck on the line after he throws a combination. It doesn't always wind up being the most defensively responsible. Now, again, another variation, right? Pulling off the line, and instead of going over the top with the right hand or going under with the body shots, he comes in with this uppercut here or under. And I want you to pay attention to the fact that he's getting hit with this right hand here. Now, Keith Thurman is a very quick 1-2 artist, okay? And there are going to be a lot of times where I think that Mario Barrios is going to try to use this move, and he's going to get caught by the right hand before he has an opportunity to counter. So I do think him trying to slip to the outside, which he's also very good at, outside of the right hand to land the left hook to the body, is going to be a little bit more fruitful for him. But I want you to pay attention to, again, getting kind of stuck on the line here, eating a shot. But watch this, right away, right back ready for countering that jab, getting right back on his grind and going back to the body. Now, this guy, Mr. Carl here, Ryan Carl, and again, slipping that shot, his opponent steps with the jab. Again, Keith Thurman, very similar. Boom, catches him with the body shot. But what happens up top here? Mario Barrios, again, is still on the line with his opponent in a position to be hit. Now, even though he's landing these counters, he's doing a good job of fighting off of his opponent's jab. His opponent goes 12 rounds with him, eating those kinds of counters. And I don't know if, and then again, excellent counter here. And then again, getting stuck on the line after, right? Boom, boom. He does wind up coming out ahead with his combination here. But the fact that he's still there after his counter, his initial counter, is not going to bode well for him against Keith Thurman, as Keith Thurman is a big not counter puncher, but combination puncher. And that's one of the reasons why he gets away with being a little bit predictable against other counter punchers, is because he can kind of flood the line with power punches. Obviously, it didn't work super well against Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao's a little bit faster, maybe arguably a harder puncher too. But it was very effective against Danny Garcia, who's a counterpuncher, but couldn't always find space on the line for his counters because the line was being flooded by the right hand as well. So it's going to be a very interesting fight. I do think that Keith Thurman, on average, lines up pretty well for Mario Barrios. And Mario Barrios is going to have a lot of opportunities in this fight to win and to outpoint Keith Thurman, and by a large margin. He may even be able to stop him to the body if he goes there consistently enough and early enough. But the power is probably going to make a pretty big difference in this fight. Mario Barrios doesn't have the most amount of power. Again, this guy, Ryan Carl, goes 12 rounds with him, and looks like he's taken a beating. Looks like he's taken just tons and tons of punishment. But He just walks right through it. Tough guy, decent boxer himself, but nowhere near the power that Keith Thurman has. Now, I don't know if that's going to be enough to beat Mario Barrios, the power alone. But oftentimes, you land 2 or 3 good power shots, even if your opponent outlanded you by a decent margin. If the referee or the judges, want to give the fight to you, they want to give the rounds to you, they will. Okay? If they want to give it to the guy who landed a couple of peppering shots, they will. So, being that this is a PBC fight and it's got PBC, history behind it, and we'll say PBC history going forward, because whoever wins this fight is going to get to fight Spence, right? But nobody wants to see Spence fight Mario Barrios, right? Everyone's thinking, Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence, that's a nice consolation, but we really want Crawford, right? We want Crawford versus Spence. So this may be one of those opportunities that they have to ensure Spence doesn't have to fight Terrence Crawford, is by making sure that Keith Thurman gets a decent win, against, no offense to Mario Barrios, a 140-pound guy. Okay, so anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys enjoyed this edition of Boxing Games and you guys are interested in the full fight film studies, check them out on Patreon. It's $10 to sign up, $10 a month. And we're going to be watching the last half of Carl versus Barrios on Patreon. Carl said something in an interview why he's picking Keith Thurman is because Mario Barrios slows down a lot. Now, Keith Thurman slows down a lot too, so let's not get it twisted. But he said specifically past the 7th round, so we're going to watch him kick Ryan Carl's ass from the round 7 to 12 and see if there's any validity to that. Also, if you guys are interested in personal coaching, check out the Patreon as well. There's a section, $50 to sign up, $50 a month, for personalized boxing coaching. And when you sign up, I'll send you a free promo code for my double in bag video, but also to give you a 50% discount on the Fouts boxing combat system if you're interested in learning to become the fighter that you want to become. Speed and power and technique, all through the easiest and most fun drilling systems that have ever been created in boxing. I promise you. Check out the reviews. Again, great reviews on the Fouts boxing combat system. They're still coming along too. But anyway, thanks guys.